there's a... Look at this thing. It's rotating.
What was in the skies of Jews, and why did it sound one of the most treasured sites in Christianity?
There's a new data study that says that maybe proof for not alone in the universe. UFO in the form of a bright light is descending over the dome of the rock of Jerusalem.
All right. Welcome to Goof On, everybody. I'm your host, Rich G, and it is March 16th, 2026, 7 p.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time. Welcome to Goof On, everybody. No. We like it. Remember that? Do we like it? No. Do we want it? No. We smoke it. Yeah. Remember? Wasn't that Fridays or Saturday Night Live? I think it was Fridays. No, I think it was Saturday Night Live. I don't know. But I remember, we smoke it. And they'd smoke the fish. Yeah, that was Saturday Night Live. With, Morris, whatever his name was. Well, those Phoenix Lights just ain't gonna happen. Well, obviously they're not. Yeah, some people made predictions. And the Phoenix Lights are coming back, says Jeff Woolwine. Toy on Jeff Woolwine at Gush. Yeah. You guys. It's a shame. It's a shame. Jeff Woolwine wrote a book about the topic called Petroglyphs in the Sky. That guy's the biggest fraud in ufology. He has faked many of his sightings with balloon launches. And one with the turtle balloon with the string still. Oh my God, I'm not going back 20 years. I'm not doing it. Anyway, these people thought the Phoenix Light, they're going to return on the same day. No. They're going to return the same month. No. The same year. No. No. They can't return because, well, there's a problem. See, Phoenix Lights was an alien. Oh, I'm not talking about the flares at 10:05 p.m. March 13th, 1997. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the 8:20 to 8:30 sighting seen over parts of Phoenix when the triangular craft flew. No. Floated above people. And they said if it was any closer, I could have thrown a rock and hit it. Well, why didn't you try? But they said when they looked up, they saw that the ship was made of the light, and the light, was made of the ship. It's a good story, kids, except it was ours. They called it blimpification. It's from a 1980-something creation. Blimpified, I think. Blimpoid. I don't know. Something to do with blimps. And an extremely light type of, I don't know, thing that could somehow float, without any gasoline, any propulsion. Why am I doing this? Because this is the waves of energy it rode. Like this. Oh, that's the ley lines. No, I don't know. Either way, the lights aren't coming back because they were always here. And the 10 p.m. sighting was the Maryland bombers dropping flares. And everything Dr. Lynn Keatai has, in my opinion, are flares. True story. I may move back to Phoenix just to show that I mean business about these Phoenix lights. Hey, Richard, you don't know nothing about tossing pizzas, man. That's what you should do. Jeff Woolwine. God, what a horrible person. What a horrible name. Woolwine. God, if my parents had that last name, somebody take me away. Woolwine. It's even ugly to sound. Woolwine. Who's here tonight? Donnie Creel. Hey, DC, what do you say there, Chief? Hey, Lucian Diablo. Yes, it was the stealth blimp. Good to see you, man. Welcome to this show. What do you say there, Glenn Collins? How do you do? Is that the Angel of Goof on? 38 long, grueling, bell-to-bell monthly membership. Thank you very much for the 3 years, 2 months, 1 minute, and 18 seconds. 31, 32. 30, yeah. The Angel of Goofon celebrates 38 months of membership. Thank you. Welcome to the show. And welcome to the show, Metalhead. Welcome to the show, DWNW, David Wilcox and I Wilcox. Welcome to the show. It's a good show. It's a good time. How you doing, Donnie Creel? Steve-O! Steven Fredo. How you doing? Black women do that all the time. Lord have mercy. Donnie Creel. What's up? I don't see anybody. UFO91_1. Welcome to the show. What do you say, contrary? 111. Welcome to the show. Intergalactic Angler. Hey! Welcome back. Good to see you. Brian Yates. How you doing? Yeah? How's your mom? Good? All right. Glenn Collins. Oh, I already said hello. I'll say it again. Welcome to the show. Hey, Jack. B-21 Raider looks exactly like... Yeah, it does. Let me pull that up, actually. The B-21 Raider. Oh, my God. Check it out. B-21 R-A-I-D-E-R. Oh, by the way. Oh, look at this thing. It's beautiful. I saw The Best Movie yesterday. And I got to tell you, I'm a huge fan of Alan Ritchson, the guy who plays Reacher. You know, the big buff guy. Handsome. This movie War Machine. Unbelievable. I got to tell you, it was phenomenally fun. Here is that B-21 spacecraft, the B-21 Raider. It does look just like, see? It's a spaceship, yo. Oh, hold on. I got a bigger pic. Here it is. Look at that, huh? Isn't that nice? Oh, that's a thumbnail right there for a show or two. That's a good looking space. It's white. Have you noticed it's not black? It's not black, as Trump would say, black. All right. Good stuff, man. Welcome, everybody. Hope you guys are having a great Monday, beginning of your week. It is Monday, right? Still Monday. Yeah, we've got a pretty intense show today. We're spending some time talking about the missing guy, McCaslin. You know, they just came out with a news update. You know, they did a little what do you call it? Gathering at the press conference thing, whatever. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that happened with that guy. Believe it or not, some people think that the 10-foot aliens were actually recorded the night of the Miami Mall incident on New Year's, which turned out to be a nothing burger, right? We'll get to all this. Plus that site where they have the UFO buried, you know, in a building. You gotta love the originality, the audacity, the balls, the gusto gutso of saying something and then pointing at, you know, well, we can't say where it is in South Korea. Oh, I made a boo-boo. I did. We also have a shape-shifting bird man. Oh, yeah. We've got plenty of clips today. We've got, what's his name, talking about, what was that guy? Milton? What was his name? Edgar Mitchell. See, this is bugging me. I can't pause this video for some reason. Huh. That is bizarre. All right, let's get away from that. I've got a makeshift AI movie to show you. What a mockumentary should look like. Believe it or not, we've got a Linda Moulton Howdy Doody Fresh and Fruity. Look, I can't stop that from playing. It's so weird. We've got David Grushgrush talking about the disappearance of McAllister, whatever his name. We also have the Trump cabinet official who was suddenly pulled out of a live interview for an emergency situation room briefing, comes back and looks visibly shaken. It's bizarre. I got to show you that in a minute. Scans of the pyramid show structures underneath from 4 different radar companies that do that. They all came up with the same exact results. There is something underneath those pyramids. And not only those pyramids, but others as well. And to round off today with the nice Hershey pie, Bigfoot. It ain't real. I mean, according to this, the Bessie sighting, what was her name? 1967. Yeah. It's proven to be a hoax, they say, in this new documentary. Anyway, welcome to Goof On. Let's get rolling. It is a truthology for ufology experience, and I welcome you. Don't be a scared. Never be a scared. What do we got? What's this say? There you go. Please subscribe to Truthology for Ufology. It's Goofons. Thank you. Thank you. Boop. There we go. All right. I got a lot of show to show you. I don't know if I can. I'm not going to do that Jeff Woolwine. Dude. Thank you very much, Nathan, if he's here, for sending that. Sadly, I can't do it. I can't play the Jeff Woolwine thing. I just can't. I won't. I shan't. I can't. I shan't? Okay. I'm looking at something. The hospital wanted this guy's organs. What is this? Let me see. Oh my God. Let me show you this. This is just bizarre. I don't know. You know, you got to see it to believe it in life. This is one of those situations. It may not have to do with UFOs, but it has to do with, body parts. I always love a good body part video. Huh. I read. Okay, never mind. All right, here we go.
A 42-year-old mechanic escaped from a hospital in the northern United States in a state of panic, shouting, "They want to take my organs." At first, police believed he was delirious after a minor accident, but 2 hours later, a raid changed everything. The man, Mark Delcourt, was admitted for a minor injury, but his file had been altered to irrecoverable, and he was moved to a technical/maintenance wing. The doors were locked, the cameras were turned away. Mark heard two people whispering, "No family, we start tonight." In panic, he ripped out his IV, crawled into a ventilation duct, and escaped. Police thought he was still panicking, but Mark insisted there are more people alive in there. At 0047, a special tactical unit raided the basement. They found 4 patients strapped down, one lying on a table next to a tray of surgical tools stained with dried blood. Behind a false wall, they discovered a secret room containing 6 unregistered medical refrigerators and 28 files marked with a red X. The American public is in shock. A hospital, supposedly the safest place, suddenly appears to be the most dangerous for patients without family by their side.
You know what year that was? 2026. In this day and age, that's happening right under our noses, just like the Leering centers. No, not funny. All right, let's get the show on the road here. What the hell are these orbs? Well, I'll save the sightings for the end of the show. Well, yeah, there's 2 I got there. All right. This is weird. Jeremy Corbell, I just have to play this, tells Representative Burleson not to trust Michael Schellenberger. Says that guy will sell you out faster than you can blink. Wow. Look who's talking. That's calling the kettle purple. Check it out.
But I wanted to make sure I said this on record to you so that it is on record that I've said this to a sitting congressperson, which is that I'm not sure that you are aware, but congressional record
Cabellion?
was fabricated on one of the times that we did a UAP hearing. It was the time that they chose a journalist named Michael Schellenberger. When they used him, there's a whole story, but I wanted you to know and want the public to know.
He barely can say his name, but he knows for sure you can't trust him. Yeah. All right.
I don't know if you're aware, but you can ask Representative Burchett, Representative Luna, but somebody fabricated congressional record by putting up a blank page about Immaculate Constellation, and people thought it was me upset saying somebody else turned in my homework. It wasn't that. I was trying to warn people that if you trust the wrong journalist, that you are trusting somebody who is not worthy of your trust. And
that's bullshit. He was upset that it was turned in without him getting credit. Remember?
A lot of that was a setup to get people to trust a journalist who is not worthy of their trust, because that guy will sell you out faster than you can blink. So were you aware
That's hilarious.
that somebody within the staff of Nancy Mace fabricated the congressional record? Full stop.
So I don't really know much of the details about that. I only heard about that after the fact, probably even a week later.
Yeah, because of you, Jeremy, the narcissist, egomaniac, Corbell, Lockyer, Martin asshole.
So, and in looking into it,
What a baby. He's a big baby.
It did not see. It's not on a priority for me. I was looking at the content of the document.
Look at him. Ugh.
Not the front cover letter, if you will. And what I was told is the front cover letter was removed because it seemed to have material that might be done in a way that might be promoting, and so that was the reason that was given to me.
So that was a complete and total lie. And I can prove it to you. And we don't have to put this in the episode.
You know why? Because you were crying like a bitch. And they don't care about what you want or think, Jammy. God, he is such a cuck. Corbell's one of the worst people in this field. You know that? He really is. And it's a shame, too, because I really like Weaponized. It keeps us in the loop with that side of ufology. You know the one. Well, we finally found out if this massive UFO covered by a building is in, Seoul, South Korea? Am I right on that? Reportedly an object that's, not in this country, that it's so large it can't be moved. Ba-ba-da-ba-da. We've got a little video clip here with Joe Rowe.
They've got crashed UFOs. The one in Korea that's so big they had to build a building around it because they couldn't move it.
Right.
I want to know what that is.
Rumors say there is a UFO buried in a South Korean mountain, so huge they built a building directly over it.
There is reportedly this object in another country that's so big it can't be moved, and a massive structure has been built around it to hide its location.
A facility outside Seoul, South Korea, where there was a huge extraterrestrial vehicle that they had downed with apparently some type of electronic warfare system. They had to carve out a huge part of the mountain just to contain this object because it was too big to move to any other site, and that it is still there.
You think it's going to come to light?
One day, yeah. And it's really interesting because it's absolutely gobsmacking that it's being kept as a secret.
Congressman Burleson went on the record confirming he is actively fighting for clearance to travel overseas and physically inspect this giant object.
It's reportedly an object that is not in this country, that is so large it cannot be moved.
Send a congressman over, not a ufologist, a congressman. That's choice.
That they've built an entire building around it, and that's one of the locations that I'm requesting.
I also know there are others that have been brought down in other locations, and if they're over a certain size, they're very, very hard to move. Imagine if they're bigger than a football field.
So now we have to look at buildings because they might be harboring a UFO inside. I mean, come on. The new fad has arrived, guys. The UFO building. God help us, please. Just please snap your fingers and make half of the bad people that half go, please.
You're not going to put that on a semi, so it becomes logistically impossible to move it.
And Burleson's already hunting down other crash retrieval sites.
I have been trying to get access to even locations that reportedly have craft that are being reverse engineered, that are even close to Washington, D.C.
He just bypassed normal hearings, secured White House clearance, and physically inspected a highly restricted naval air station in Maryland. He went looking for the exact hangar where Lockheed Martin allegedly tried to hide recovered materials.
Lockheed Martin, the narrative that they had in their possession, some material that they were going to be transferring over to Bigelow Airspace, and that the CIA director at the time
quash that. That's a specific narrative that I'm looking into and trying to get details. Because if I can prove some of those details, then even if I'm not able to get my hands on the material itself, if I can prove some of the details of that story are true, then
No, you
we know
can't.
that we can continue and focus in on that.
The craft.
I mean, what does he think's going to happen? He's going to go there and go, oh, yeah, that building's definitely hiding a UFO. And wait, they're going to let him in? Oh, come on in. Come. Americana, come. Look. UFO. No, it's not going to happen.
Was moved, but Burleson confirmed the infrastructure was still there. He found the purpose-built private runway and a massive crane designed specifically to transfer off-world tech before the CIA intervened. Now, insiders say UFO investigations just jumped from the absolute bottom of the government's priority list straight into the top 10. The walls are closing in on the biggest secret in human history.
It's not.
Do you think Congress is actually about to blow this wide open?
No. This is just another way for the government to look like they care, because this has happened throughout the years. We've seen it time and time again. They act like they're going to do something huge, then nothing. Crickets. And there's a reason for it, because this secret can never be verified. It can never be proven. It can never be in the public, ever. We need it. And then when we don't need it, once we get the tech and the weaponry that we want, and we got it exactly where we need it, and maybe we'll tell you about what happened. But until then, mum's the word. And I don't mean your mum. Yeah. Oh, so General McCaslin was experiencing a mental fog before, and then stepped down from groups he was working with in the months prior to his disappearance, they say. How come we didn't know about that until now? That bothers me. It does. That information was given to us early on, they say, but no, we didn't know. Out of an abundance of caution, we escalated to a silver alert to try to garner as much public attention as possible to help locate him. What's this? Oh, look, chicken poop's back. You can block me, but you can still suck? Huh? Who? Chicken poop? I'm looking. I don't see any chicken poop. Who are you talking about? I don't know who you mean. Oh, look. Chicken poop's back. I don't know. I'm looking again. I don't know, bro. I don't know what that means. Yeah, where is he? Thanks for the $5, though. Hey, yeah, guys, help support GoofOn. You know, we're like Truthology for ufology. It goes a long way. Everything goes back into the show, obviously. But we always need help that way. All the links are in the show description, super chat and super stickers. You know all about it. Thanks, David. Mr. DWNW. Chicken poop. I think I know who you mean. He's not talking to me. God, Dan, oh my God, you are so cute. I just want to put you in my back pocket and sit on you. So stupid. He's not talking about me, you schmucko. I've never been a chick. And David wouldn't say that. Dorcas. I love when those ladies come in here and start talking smack. They don't even know what they're talking about. And the vault is open. Trump ordered it. Yep. Hegseth confirmed it's happening, but what's actually coming out? Nothing. You want to see what James Fox thinks and move on? Here, right here. This is from Redacted, is it? Is that what this is? From Redacted? Let's take a listen.
Publicly ordered federal agencies to start identifying and releasing government files tied to alien and extraterrestrial life, UAPs, UFOs. That directive hit on February 19th, and the message from the White House was basically this: the public wants answers. Hello? Yes, we do.
Hello.
We've been asking for it for decades, so start opening up the vault, as if this was new information to Congress or presidents of the United States. President Trump has openly admitted that he gets that question a lot. Well, if you're getting that question a lot, there's probably a reason behind it. So is it actually happening? Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth was asked about it on Monday during a stop in Colorado. I guess Secretary of War now. I keep calling him the Defense Secretary. And he didn't brush it off during this brief press conference. He said, we've got our people working on it right now. We're digging in. Watch.
3 days ago, President Trump directed you to begin the process of identifying and releasing the UFO and UAP files. Did you ever think that you would be the Secretary of War in charge of potentially declassifying extraterrestrial life to the American people?
I did not have that on my bingo card at all.
And are you prepared to do that now?
Of course. We've got our people working on it right now. I don't want to oversell how much time it will take, right? We're digging in. We're going to be in full compliance with that executive order, eager to provide that for the president. So there'll be more coming on that.
I understand.
What we'll do.
And what sort of time frame? Do you have any sense of how long
WNW.
this will take?
I don't have a time frame for you yet, but stand by. We'll get it for you.
And do you think aliens are real?
What?
Do you think aliens exist?
We'll see. I get to do the review and find out along with you.
So that's on the Pentagon side. You know, it's interesting. When I worked at Fox and Friends and sat next to him on the couch, we did an after the show one time where we talked all about aliens and disclosure, and sitting in the middle between the two of us was Ainsley Earhart, who said, I don't even give it a thought. I don't even think about it. And I was just shocked by that. You don't give it a thought at all.
All right.
Reverse engineer. Ron Axel, the chief bottle washer behind a brand new film that's coming out here. Let's put this up on the screen, which is called Ron Accidental Asks That Question of Pete Hegseth. It's like, well, it's not a matter of believing about it. It's on the congressional record. Like, what's there to believe about it? It's true. So, like, the next phase, and I love that. I also want to bring in James Fox, creator of Moment of Contact, great documentary filmmaker, one of my favorites. James recently held a press conference in Washington, D.C. with lawmakers, major whistleblowers, and he has some new exclusive information that he's going to share with our audience today.
The
Both
new
of you
grifter in
brought
our
new
lives.
exclusive information that you're going to share with our audience today, and some never-before-seen footage, which we're going to talk about.
So, I follow what's going on online and taking people's temperatures, and there are a lot of people out there.
See him scratch his face? I could do a whole episode on James Fox lying and making shit up and not sure about anything.
You've been busy, and with these lawmakers and members of Congress. So do you sense that we're at a tipping point moment here?
Well, so, I follow what's going on online and taking people's temperature.
There it is. He's lying. He doesn't follow anything online, doesn't do any of that shit. He's just got sources that he goes to. I can't watch him anymore. He is very disappointing to me in the worst way. It's just same old routine. Just James Fox is done. His movies have become shittier and shittier with each one that comes out. He'll never reach phenomenon again. He'll never reach that plateau like he did with that movie. And that's not even the best movie. It's basically the first two. I Know What I Saw and frig, who cares? I can't remember. I Know What I Saw and I don't remember. Anyway, they're bringing back the 10-foot tall alien story. They just can't let it go from Miami. And with that being said, now they're bringing back the 10-foot aliens that were in the backyard in that Las Vegas supposed crash landing, and 10-foot tall aliens were seen in the backyard. No evidence of it, of course, but pretty interesting how it all went down back then. Yeah, it was 2020. That was 3 years ago now. Check this out. Let me show you, just to refresh your memory glands.
Supervisor.
The family says something crashed into their backyard, prompting them to call 911.
Family in Nevada saying they saw creatures walking around their backyard. Listen to their call for help.
So there's two people or two subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. You can hear footsteps on the roof. I have butterflies, bro. What'd you see? It was like a big creature.
Wouldn't you? Okay, we all know what happened. Wouldn't you, if you had 10-foot tall aliens in your backyard, wouldn't you be a little more excited than that guy sounded? It does sound like the whole thing was a setup. Plus, George Knapp held on to that story for what, 4, 5, 6 weeks, and then released it at the same time that David Grushgrush was coming out for the first time with News Nation. Yeah. It was all promotional. It's bullshit. It's a bullshit story. It's a bullshit family. It's all scripted and paid for by your tax dollars.
Explanation as to why they did not whip out their cell phones is they were afraid, which is somewhat reasonable.
They see like a big something with light.
America has just had its new UFO flag.
2/3 of all Americans believe there are other life forms in the universe.
This incident has all the trappings of our modern UFO story. And I would like to take the landscape out of the UFO and into the occult.
Existence of these creatures. For instance, it posits that there are several major forms that are described when people have encounters with what they believe are these cryptids.
Lauren Coleman and Jerome Clark, authors of Cryptozoology A to Z, write that cryptozoology is not, as some think, an arcane or occult zoology. It fuses 3 Greek words, cryptos, zoon, and logos, which mean hidden animal and discourse. Thus, cryptozoology is the science of hidden animals, a pattern of testimony regarding chupacabras, lake monsters, sea serpents, are all examples.
Moments after the video, me and my brother went to go pick up my tools. Then my brother calls me, look behind the forklift. So I look. Keep in mind I'm facing the forklift, and then I see the alien creature. It was a tall...
It doesn't sound right anymore. It sounds like he memorized this. It's not from memory. It's that he memorized it. A story about, yeah, this is all wrong. I knew it. I could tell now.
Skinny, lengthy creature. He was a gray, greenish color, and when I looked at it in the eyes, my body just froze.
That sounds like a guy telling his own story. As I looked into the creature, I just froze. No. When I looked into the creature's eyes, I froze. There's no excitability in these people. That kid is monotone. He's trying very hard to sound and look serious. And it's a joke. I wonder how George got involved, really, because he should be inspected for that. Unreal. What a horrible nightmare we're living with these people on that side of ufology. All right, I'm going to show you this fake but realistic looking mockumentary example of things to come in the future. Now, this person says Sea Dance 2.0 is an absolute beast for multi-shot control, but for grounded photorealism. VEO3 still rocks. What if disclosure actually happened? Area 51 sci-fi mockumentary. This is it. Let's take a look. This is actually very fun. I wish it was like this. Might as well have some fun, right?
We good to go? I've been wanting to do this sort of thing for years.
Heads up, test is a go. This is Bob, and he's been here since 2012. His craft crashed just outside Spring Creek.
All right, watch out. Testing.
Reverse engineering is tough. Some of these things are thousands of years old. Tech we've never seen before. This one is a dud. Haven't been able to get anything out of it for years.
I started working at the facility right around 1975. It was in 1992 that I took over as project lead.
Back in the late 70s, early 80s, those were fun times.
Yeah.
We were getting new craft in every few months. We'd take them out for a spin like we got a new Dodge or something. There weren't cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
Not like it is now.
God, I haven't been in here in ages. This is where we did a lot of the reverse engineering work.
This is one of the big boys, found off the coast of North Carolina?
South Carolina. These are some of the holding tanks where we keep the ETs. They're not going to let me show you the filled ones, though.
Most people are like, I would love to work there, see what's going on. It's actually pretty boring most of the time.
Yeah. This is the basement here, where most of the research is. You weren't supposed to see that. New craft day.
New craft day. Those are still exciting every time. I usually send the younger guys in first. These things can be cramped, not made for a 6-foot man with a bad back. Each one is slightly different tech. Some have controls, some don't. Always an adventure figuring them out. Do you want to try going up in one? It'll blow your mind.
Were you familiar with the alleged alien J-Rod?
J-Rod? Of course. We all knew J-Rod, although he claimed he wasn't an alien. He said he was a human from the future.
He did help us locate 3 crashed craft. So he was definitely something. It was sad. He had a lot of health problems, but a great guy and one heck of a card player. What did I take away from working on this project? We're children in a very old universe, and we're just starting to meet.
He's not even looking
neighbors.
at the right place.
Anything else I'd like people to know about my work here? I guess that we're working on the biggest questions that face humanity. What does it all mean? And what is our place in the universe? It's pretty wild.
Unreal. Can you imagine if that was real, though? It's not fair. It's not fair. Life should be so wonderful. You know, a lot of people give Linda Moulton Howdy Doody Fresh and Fruity a hard time. I don't know why. But she's one of 3 investigative journalists in ufology. George Knapp, Linda Moulton Howdy Doody Fresh and Fruity. And who's the third one? I can't remember. I just had it in my head. Well, her story with the Antarctic experience, you know, the one, those 2, what did she name them? I don't remember what she called those whistleblowers. Anyway, Jason Sands posted this. Check it out.
And he said the scientists were just lined up perfectly still. They get ushered onto the plane. They're looking down on the ground. There's not a single word, not to anybody. And the crew are looking at each other, and one of them said, they look traumatized. And they had all of this gear, but the decision apparently was that they would get the scientists out first and get the gear in another flight. So they get these,
Sounds like Afghanistan. We tried to get everybody out and the equipment, but we left the...
thought there were 2 women and the rest men. And he said, Linda, it was so eerie. They've been missing for 2 weeks. And he said they looked scared. They didn't talk to each other. They didn't talk to us. And they kept looking at the ground. And one of the male scientists sat on a chair, and Brian S. was sitting on a jump seat that was looking back at the scientists. And this one man who sat down, he said it was close enough for me to lean over, and he said, I just extended my hand, and I said, is there anything that I can get you? And that the scientist never responded, kept staring at the floor. The plane landed in McMurdo. The scientists were whisked away immediately. They went on another plane, and they heard that they went to Christchurch in New Zealand, never to be seen by this crew again. And then when they were in the cafeteria talking, the words were from somebody who had some association with what those scientists had been doing, said, yeah, the rumor is that they came here to work with what we call extraterrestrial biological entities down in that hole site near Pole, and who knows what happened. They hadn't been gone very long, and men in suits come again, and the whole crew is set down and told, you do not talk about these missing scientists. You don't talk about any of this.
Wow. And if it's real, it's really cool. Do you think it's real? Do you? Let me see something here. Do we have a poll in the chat room? We do. Let's end the poll. 35 votes. That's awful. So, what do you think the Phoenix Lights were? Flares and triangle-shaped craft is the leader at 43%. UFO orbs or light ships, 29%. All of the above at 17%, or just flares at 11%. The real answer is all of the above. There were flares and the triangle-shaped craft, and people were calling them light ships, and there were orbs seen. However, if I was to choose in this, with these options, it's UFO or it's a flares and a triangle-shaped craft. You guys got it right at 43. That's what I thought the answer should be. And somebody tried to argue about it, and I'm like, you make a good point, but it's my poll. All right. More researchers are becoming interested in possible assassinations of UFO witnesses and who's running those dark programs. For answers, we need to turn to 6 hours of video testimony recorded in 1991 by one of those assigned to assassinating UFO researchers who revealed his experiences to Lieutenant Colonel Wendell Stevens. Grush Grush claims that all of the guys who came out all claimed their lives were threatened, yet no proof. No proof. Sorry, I'm not buying it. I think they're just trying to make it a little more interesting. They must know the truth. Of course they were threatened. They went to Dopser and then they were told what they could say. Why would their lives be in danger? It makes absolute no sense. None.
But we did interview, I'd say about 10 to 12 of them had concerns about wet work, murders in the past, people going missing in their workplace. I certainly had, some disturbing things happen to me in my personal life from a physical intimidation perspective, which I reported to my agency's counterintelligence element.
Yeah, and who threatened you? That's what I thought.
When I was still in government. Obviously, I was never physically harmed, but I certainly saw
no, but you're a mental
signatures
case
of what I thought was illicit extra-governmental activity as it related to intimidating me and some of my other colleagues. Just was very, very disturbing and upsetting information. So I don't have any personal knowledge of that kind of stuff, but I did talk to firsthand witnesses who had very high credentials that were government officials that did espouse that concern of illicit wet work and other physical intimidation type activities. So
what happened to me personally was very disturbing. So I have to be very vague about this because
nothing really happened.
Investigation, but I think you'll understand what I'm saying is
because nothing happened. He can't tell us because nothing happened. You get it? Why even tell us your life was threatened? Why? If you can't tell us anything about it, why bring it up? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is called a script of bullshit. And he's in on it. You can just tell. Look at the eyes. They tell the story.
They showed my wife and I they can touch me at any time. 2 times.
Anybody can do that.
And it was very disturbing. It was in conjunction with some other people getting a message like that are...
Let me guess. They broke into your car, took out your wallet, placed it on the center console, and your firearm was placed on the passenger seat. Shut up.
I'm going to say publicly well known. Some that aren't publicly well known.
I was told that there were 2 names on a list of people that I was looking through and I was warned to not reach out to those individuals because they have the capabilities and would have no problem having someone like me killed, which I found startling. But I've heard that in the narrative of this topic. This isn't the first time I've heard about that.
Nobody's being threatened in this day and age because nothing is coming out. It's locked away and nobody will know. This is so stupid. Anybody who listens to this bullshit and believes it, you're just as nutty if you believe it. I promise you. So this is that Trump cabinet official who was taken away during a live interview for an emergency situation room meeting, briefing, whatever. And then when he comes back, he looks visibly shaken. I want to see this again. I've only looked at it the one time. You tell me what you think you see here.
Oh, okay. Okay. No problem at all. See you shortly, Mr. Secretary.
Wow.
Mr. Secretary, I have to say, it's a first, I'm sure a last as well, that an interviewee's been pulled away to go to the Situation Room. How was the president? Was he stressed?
No, the president is in great spirits. The Iranian mission is proceeding well ahead of schedule, and I have to tell you, Wolf, that I've a teenager who's considering military service, and I could give this team my highest compliment from President Trump to the head of the Joint Chiefs to the Secretary of War. I would say that I would trust my child's life in their hands.
That's what they wanted him to say, I bet. When he came back, he had to say it, that he would put his own child in harm's way. Weird. That's weird. That to me is bizarre. I'm sorry, it is. It just is. All right, let me pull this up here. What else is going on? Oh, right. So the new scans of the pyramids show massive structures underneath the pyramids. Obviously, you know about this. Featuring Filippo Biondi and researcher Jeffrey Drum. Well, this is only a minute and a half of the episode that's out, and I want to look at this episode. I really do. Can I get back to reality? Here we go. Check this out. American Alchemy on X shared this.
This is the best technology that can scan inside of the Great Pyramid that are undiscovered features.
Do any of these structures that they're interpreting fly in the face of what conventional archaeology would think exists inside the pyramids?
All of it.
All of it.
All of it.
There is also electricity inside this.
Fossilized lightning through these iron veins. What is creating the lack of signature here?
There is something. I can't disclose it now.
Interesting.
Each pyramid is producing a specific chemical, and the sequence of these chemicals transforms one product into the next product into the next product. Wow. Industrial scale chemical manufacturing. There are absolutely things below the Giza Plateau that we do not understand.
If we do have tubular structures, pillars, with coils wrapping around them that go a kilometer deep with a foundation underneath them, that's insane. That's huge.
Correct, yeah, and it's something that needs to be addressed. Because there's no physical way that these could possibly have been built. Period.
Then I'm going with aliens.
Period or pyramid? It's pretty crazy. Whatever is underneath, it's huge. And it's, look, we're never, they're trying to get permission to go and excavate or do whatever they do, go down there and see what it is. They'll never, ever have access. If Zawi Hawass is still alive, it ain't happening anytime soon. Not in our lifetimes. I wish it would. I'd like to go out before I die knowing what's underneath those pyramids. So the uploader claims this next video is real. Nobody can verify it. There's a tic-tac shaped UFO captured on camera, allegedly. And it says here, objects with this strange white tic-tac shape first became famous during the 2004 Nimitz incident when U.S. Navy pilots, in this footage, a similar cigar-shaped object appears moving silently through the sky with no wings, no rotors, and no visible propulsion. Let's take a look from UFO Mania.
Mira esta desclasificación del fenómeno ovni. Esta nave TikTok se presentó al frente del portaaviones estadounidense y se quedó ahí y nos amedrentó. Es más, aparecieron otras luces en el cielo, fíjate. El fenómeno duró un tiempo prolongado. Aviones caza levantaron vuelo, haciendo un reconocimiento total. Fíjate todo este metraje.
Oh, God.
Qué locura, brother.
What do you think? Real or
Pocas
fake?
veces
Or real
tenemos
fake?
registros como estos.
I don't
No
see
todos los
how.
militares sabrán sobre el asunto.
I don't see. Yeah, that's fake. That looks totally fake. As a matter of fact, it looks like there's a square that goes all the way out here.
Algunos quedarán como simples observadores como nosotros.
Yeah, it's fake. It's sad. If that was real, that would be on all of the news channels. That's how you know it's not real most of the time. Yeah, so Bigfoot's now a hoax again. Director of a new doc discovered the hoaxers' rehearsal outtakes of this event. They practice walking and stuff. The guy did, yeah. Hold on, let me see something. It was scientifically authenticated as real in 2007 by tenured professor of bipedal anthropology, Dr. Jeff Meldrum. Of course. Really easy to research this properly without circular reasoning, but the evidence is weak. Oh my God, how weird is this? I'm sitting here and a show that I did on another channel just started playing. That is so bizarre. Okay. Yeah, Bigfoot's done. I knew it was fake. You could tell. You could tell. All right, I want to show you something really strange. I don't know if it's real, but it can't be. Why don't you take a look at this bird? See that bird? Hold on. See it? All right, watch.
Oh my God. Blood of Jesus.
Pretty weird, right? It looks good.
Oh my God.
Hits a wire, and it broke him out of the spell, is what they were saying. Here's another sighting. This person said while walking through the mountains, the common thing to do is to look out over the valley. You know, you see the reason you went up that high. This time the view was a bit different than the norm. Suddenly a craft appeared and began to descend toward the valley floor below. This guy quickly grabbed his camera, and the rest is history. Eddie Abbott on X, check this out. I don't buy it. I think this is fake. But that's just me. I don't know if there's sound. Classic. Vlasic pickle. No, classic. You'll take a bite out of that? No, I won't. So what do you say? Real, fake, real fake, real news. I don't care anymore what you say. I can't feel the same way any day. I just made that up. UFOs are being seen all over Iran. I ran so far away. I was in Iraq. Check it out.
این چیه دیگه تو آسمون؟ چرا عجیبه؟ داره میاد جلو. نمیدونم. این چیه دیگه تو آسمون؟
I know. I can't help it. I have to. And last, this is a good one. What the hell are these orbs? This person says. Check it out. Oh, that looks fake. That looks fake. Right there. That looks fake. You see, it's fading for some reason. It's fading away out of existence. Now look at it. It just tumbled out of existence. Está binar. So the Phoenix Lights in March 13th, 1997 were first seen over the Nevada-Arizona border near Kingman. I don't know, earlier, maybe an hour before, give or take. And reports kept coming in that night, 7:45 in Sedona, then 8 o'clock down in, I think it was Jerome or somewhere, or Payson, Arizona. And then when it got to about 8:15-ish, that's when people started to see the craft fly over what used to be called Squaw Peak, is now called Piestewa Peak, or State Route 51, because that's where the interchange happens. That's what we as Arizonans knew was that little gap that took you into downtown Phoenix from the suburbs. Anyway, did you know there's a reported UFO in Arizona around that area I just told you about that has a UFO in the ground? They built a dam over it. Remember that story? Yeah. Well, anyway, back then in 1997, along the freeway, the 51, were artwork from the cultures before white man came. The Hohokam, right? They had a Kokopelli. They had writings in their language. They had symbolisms of star people. That circle with, just circle like a snake, showing like a portal or maybe a black hole. Who knows what it is. And then it also had a message built right into this along the freeway. Space people or star gods or star lords. And then it says, welcome. And then it also said, this way or something. It tells the craft where to go, allegedly. And that divides Phoenix right in half, that freeway, that 51, where the craft flew at 8:30, right over the center of Phoenix. Because if you've ever lived in Phoenix, you have the avenues and then you have the streets. And this thing went right down Zero, Central Avenue, basically, in 16th Street. That's how big this thing was. And we saw the other day, Kurt Russell was the pilot who called in the lights that he saw traversing over the airport. Crazy stuff, man. Crazy. And it happened, and it was real. We're under tornado watch right now in Hernando. I can't believe we're under a tornado watch. Yeah, the weather's just getting crazy for some reason. Anyway, then you have Governor Fife Symington, who lied about seeing the craft. He came out and did this, I don't know what it was. One of his co-workers put on an alien costume. And, about a few days after the Phoenix Lights event happened, he says, we found the culprits of the March 13th, I'm paraphrasing. And they bring out one of his compadres in an alien outfit. And then Fife Symington says, you people take this stuff too seriously. Everybody was pissed because what he basically did was tell 100 or 10,000 people, 100,000, whatever it was that saw it that night, I think it's 10,000, that they didn't see anything at all. That's what he's telling us. Then, a couple of years later, he comes out and says he saw the Phoenix Lights for himself fly right over South Mountain that I was just talking about. However, me and Bill Burns we had a conversation on his show with Nancy, his wife, and come to find out, Five Symington is a bold-faced liar to both Bill and myself. Five Symington never saw the Phoenix Lights. He lied about it because he's trying to make up for the mistake he made when he made fun of everybody for seeing it. That's his whole reason for making up that lie, that I got home and I heard on the TV, which is a lie, because if he got home at 8:30, he said he was coming home to have dinner with the family. 8:30 you eat? And then this guy, Five Symington, just gets in his car without his family, forgets the camera at home, and drives 5 minutes away and says, I was walking around milling. There were people milling around the park area. And then I hear a commotion. People are starting to point, and there it is. I look and I see the craft, and I couldn't believe it. There it is. He says he heard it on TV. There wasn't an announcement on TV until 9:45 for the 10 o'clock news. He totally lied about it. There was no reports. He might have heard reports as a governor, but if he wasn't lying, then somebody told him where the craft was going to go. Why didn't you bring a camera? Why didn't you bring a witness? Why didn't you bring your own family? He leaves him home with TV dinners? Give me a break. He told Bill Burns a totally different story. It was amazing. Yeah, I don't remember. You have to go look for it. But the Phoenix Lights aren't what we think they want, what we want them to be. Okay? There's this supposed technology that was created in the 80s. And apparently it uses electromagnetic field of the earth. And this is what people were hearing, this low hum, like, something like that. Yeah, that makes sense. It could have been the electrostatic electricity that the craft was riding, for lack of a better word, or traversing over. And that's what it supposedly is. And back then, I guess they had a huge, it wasn't a mile wide. It wasn't even a half mile. I think it was a couple 100 feet, maybe the size of a football field. And they kept this thing in a hangar, they said. And then they finally let it out. And that's the story of the Phoenix Lights, I guess. The thing is, what it did to Dr. Lynn Kitai, the one who wrote the book and the documentary, The Phoenix Lights, she's claimed to have had communication with aliens after the movie came out. Now all of a sudden she's a contactee, an experiencer. They came right up to her house. Total bullshit. By the way, Dr. Lynn Kitai is a very nice woman, but a bullshitter. And her husband. And that's my opinion. I'm allowed to have it because she has no proof of any of it. All she has are flares on camera. And if you look up the dates that she took the pictures and shows the lights in the sky, were the same days they dropped flares. And the following years, people have documented flares around January and in March. And that's when they drop them in Phoenix over the Barry Goldwater Gunnery Range, where the lights were seen by South Mountain area. It's a shame. There will never be another Phoenix Lights event. And there hasn't been in 29 years. Isn't it 30 years almost? Yeah. Oh, here's a little drummer boy next door. Listen. I'm a bitch ho, maybe ho, gotta be a ho ho. That's what they're saying. That's what he listens to. And then he taps. He's got a drumstick and he got a bucket, and all he does is do this. Da, 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 da. I watched him. So what I'm gonna do in 5 minutes is turn on some freaking heavy metal. I'm going to listen to Skull Morph Sound Lab. Have you guys found out about Skull Morph Sound Lab yet? It's a lot of fun. I recommend an Illusion. Don't go check it out. You won't like it because it's AI generated. Stay away from it, but I love it. I'm addicted to it. That's all I've been listening to. And by the way, Lucian's song, he redid the Crop Circle song. That shit comes up in my workout music, and I didn't know it was him at first, and I'm like, oh, this is good. It is good. Lucian's talented at AF, man. And I love his music, and I think he's one of the most talented people I've ever met when it comes to music, creating and doing it himself. I understand the hatred for AI, I really do. But you can't blame me for loving it. The way Skull Morph Sound Lab puts together the music is the way I would want heavy metal to sound, with a little bit of, I don't know what. But it works, and it really gets me going. But that, I wanted to ask if I could play that Crop Circle song, and I keep forgetting to ask you. Anyway, that's it for tonight. We're going to get out of here a little bit, well, a couple of minutes early. It's not too bad, but I'm still under the weather, man. I just can't get right. Just can't get right. It sucks. Still don't have the voice 100%, but I was sleeping before the show. But we'll be back tomorrow, 7 p.m. And then Wednesday, Jeff will be here, Jeff Willis, and we're going to talk about the Phoenix Lights. We're going to see some new sightings. So we got a good show coming up Wednesday, and tomorrow should be fun. So stick around, come back, and we'll do it again. Appreciate everybody hanging out. And I got to say it. Hold on. There we go. What do I say? Oh, yeah. Hey, if you ain't looking up for ufology, wait, how does it go? If you ain't looking up, you ain't looking out for ufology. You got to look up. Anyway. Hold on. I don't want to go out with that one. I want to go out differently today. Ay vey. All right. We'll see you guys. Take care. Alien bless. Come on. Here we go again. See, this is why you can't have nice things. You try to time it. It doesn't work. All right. Now I got to do the old-fashioned way. All right. See you guys. Peace.
There's a good thing. It's rotating.
What was in the skies of and why did it downward treasured sites in Christianity?
There's a new